Well, I dressed like Mr. Rogers for this show because I wanted to keep it like family friendly.
Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come. This or that. This or that. This or that.
Come on, who's the black sheep? What's the black sheep? Know not who I am or when I'm coming, so you sleep. Wasn't in my realm or wasn't in your sphere. Knew not who I was, but listen here. The choice is yours.
You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you get with this, cause this is kind of fat.
Where's the black sheep? Here's the black sheep. Even if we wanted to, the flock cannot be weak. Watch me swing it like this. Why should I swing it like that? Because in fact, on me it might not attract.
With this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you get with this, cause this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you get with this, cause this is kind of fat.
Dippity.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 83 of Black Sheep Rising, the fabulous Black Sheep Rising. My name is Conan Soliday, and of course, I've got two guys here who work so much. I mean, probably the busiest guys I know. W, of course, is here. W.
What's up?
W. Perry. Darryl W. Perry. And, of course, Derrick Freeman is back. Derrick J, he got rid of one project and went right ahead and started another project, which I just had the thrill to listen to the other night. You got Flaming Freedom back up and running, and I had a blast listening to it. Derrick, how are you, man?
Hey, I'm great. Thanks so much for having me on your awesome show, Black Sheep Rising. I'm so glad to be here.
Wow. So yeah. So and what was the show that went away? Peace News Now.
Yeah, so I started Peace News Now back in 2012 in Adam Kokesh's basement, of all places. Just as a way to talk about some of the happy news that was going on in the world. Like it was just the beginning of that wave where we're getting a lot of police state news. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to counter that with some here's something that make you smile for 5 minutes. And
So of all the things that were started in Adam Kokesh's basement, how many of them were legal?
I don't know.
I'm sure everything in there was legal.
Yeah.
Hey, who's that talking? Of course, Shaunna is here as well, gracing us with her hotness and her her good opinion, keeping us in check and keep Darryl in check, especially keep him from bouncing off these old walls.
That's what I've been told that I do.
Yeah, you keep him down to earth.
It's something about asceticism that it's a cross to bear.
Of course, I don't know where you were when Rapture was screaming at the webcams.
I was keeping the drinks from spilling. He's
over.
really mad at the table.
I've still not seen the uncensored version of that.
Maybe one day I'll put that up there.
He kind of just says dirty words really loud.
Yeah, it's not.
And
that
is
big
mad
a
at the
deal.
monitor.
I think it's much more entertaining watching it muted out with his, of course, his theme song playing over it. I think that's much more fun to watch because he's just mad, and it's like, well, you don't want to hear that.
You know what he's gonna say. You know what he said. You already know what he said. You've heard Rapture talk. Ain't nothing really bad. Just kind of dirty, but there's no bad in it. So,
did he mention Bilderberg
allegedly
or New World Order?
God, I wish.
No, none of those things.
He didn't get to the real root of the problem. No,
okay.
If that's what you're asking, which you obviously just did ask.
Yeah. So how are we, guys? I know that we've had a lot of snow. I just saw a picture of Derrick's driveway. No, we can't kill it, but you can smash it with the baseball bat as often as you like.
I've seen some beautiful sculptures. Local Keeniac made a chair that he could sit in with a little cooler in the side so that, it was made entirely out of shoveled snow. And, that's a cool way to relax. There are some other people who are setting up bonfires in the middle of their snow arena, and they're making big open air igloos and using fire pits inside.
And like tunnels and stuff. Of course, This is not here in Keene, but
right. But some people in New England are doing these things. I think it can be fun to have a whole mess of snow to deal with. We don't always get this each winter.
No, we don't. This is probably not so good if you've just moved here to the area and you're looking for you're not trying to be discouraged. I mean, if you're going to get how much footage have we gotten so far? Maybe 6 feet,
Probably.
and of course,
It's been like 3 or 4 consecutive weekends of over 8 inches.
yeah. And so, but a lot of people don't realize when you're scraping the stuff off your roof and you're shoveling a driveway, that stuff starts to stack, and you start to run. Right now, we're running out of places to put snow.
I've seen some of the big piles of snow in like the Hannaford parking lot that's up to like 10 foot tall.
Yeah, I just got in a car accident, unfortunately, because of the snowbanks. They're all piled up on the corner, and you can't see. There's no way. If you're at like regular car level, there's no way that you can see without inching out into the street.
Wow.
And so, I inched out. This was in Manchester over the weekend, and fortunately, I wasn't going fast. I was basically stopped at a stop sign, but it's because I couldn't see. The oncoming traffic just plowed right into me.
That's one thing that's nice about having the cross view mirrors on the front end of the Nada bus.
Well, plus you're up high. I mean, you can see much easier than a very low
But
car.
even with the snowbanks, and because the way the edge of the windshield is,
yeah,
it's good to have those cross view mirrors. So I look to the right and I see if traffic's coming from the left. I look to the left, I see if traffic's coming from the right.
I'm happy with snow generally this winter. The plowing, the shoveling is not a big deal. You just do it regularly while it's light and fluffy. The issue that I have is with the government and their poor handling of the snow, like piling it up in the corners where people can't see. It causes a serious hazard.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what it is, don't you?
People need to feel the pressure from you.
That wasn't what I wanted.
Life as you know it on Earth ends.
Of course, he's talking about global warming, and that's what you get for putting all the carbon into the atmosphere. You get snowstorms like this, right?
Oh, I heard Bill Nye, the fucking supposedly science guy, saying that
He's a prop actor.
any change in temperature or anything, if it rains tomorrow, that's global warming. If it's sunshiny, that's global warming. Blame everything on global warming, but you shouldn't call it global warming. Call it global climate change.
Is that what he said, or that's what you?
That's what he said. He
I
was
can hear him saying that.
Blame everything on global climate change.
Because they lost the warming argument, because it's obviously not really warming all that. And if you look at the stats and all, it's whose stats are you going by, and what degree of do you have to work with, of up and down.
And throughout human history, there has been, climate change. There used to be an ice age, and then there wasn't an ice age. And then there was a mini ice age, and now there's not an ice age.
Yeah.
Although, New England kind of feels like it is in an ice age to some extent.
Exactly, but it's not warming. It's this nice, good, cold,
it got
cold winter.
kind of warm today.
Oh, yeah, it was
up to about 40.
Up to about 40. There was like a river running
Negative
down
13 Tuesday with wind chills supposedly down to negative 37. That fucking ain't warm.
Really, Sherlock?
That is not warm.
40's warm. Negative 13, that ain't warm. I'm Darryl W. Perry, and I stand by that.
Did you guys hear what the Merrimack police here in New Hampshire did a couple of weeks ago?
Tell us.
They issued a arrest warrant for Puxatawney Phil.
Hold on, I got something for you.
Alrighty, are you kids ready for story time?
Tell us, Darryl.
And so when I first saw this, I was like, what the fuck are they wasting their time on? And then the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I'd rather them do this stupid shit than go arrest somebody for smoking some weed.
Darryl.
So, yeah, go ahead. Fucking arrest all the damn groundhogs you want to. I don't really give a fuck.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that was either a Twitter or Facebook post that...
About the groundhog or something?
Yeah.
Arrest the groundhogs.
Yeah, it was a Facebook post that whoever that guy is, he didn't write it.
He was the police
But
chief.
like the dude dancing to the Taylor Swift video, good for you for joining in on the social media campaign to make everybody like the cops. Good job, Darryl.
Good job, Darryl.
You played into it. Like you got fucking played.
No, I still don't.
No, see, you're going on and on about how, they wanted to arrest Punxsutawney Phil.
You got the move.
When really, it was just a social media campaign, an advertisement, whatever you want to call it.
You know
right.
what? You know
but I
what?
would
Same
rather
thing
them
as-
arrest a fucking groundhog than arrest somebody.
And
for
I'd
smoking weed.
I'd rather cops look like good guys by singing around to Taylor Swift instead of going to little kids in kid prison saying we're going to arrest you if you tell on us or something. So
Darryl, what do groundhogs do?
Oh, I see a testicle. I think I'm going to go chew it off.
You got to watch it. Beavers and
That
groundhogs.
was not a groundhog. That was like some dude's dog, I think.
I think he was about a dog, actually. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's get to
This week in Keene.
which I still haven't updated to this month in Keene, but we all participated in the school deliberative session that went on back on the 7th of this month.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We kind of all knew what was going to take place. There's if we are in the minority, our particular opinion is definitely the minority of people who attend this meeting. Deliberative session is where they get together and they talk about the warrants that are going to be on the ballot in March. And they pretty much just okay everything, unless, of course, someone submits some warrants that some ballot initiatives that might be, focused on reducing the budget, which is what I was all about, or forbidding the school board from electioneering, which is already a law. But they went ahead and were breaking it
They
anyways.
get around it because the law does not say you can't use taxpayer funds.
Yeah, all it says is public property. It doesn't specifically say.
And it also says public officials, and based on the way things are defined, elected school board members are not technically public officials.
So that's how they do it, huh? But they're not. No, come on now, they got to be.
Not based on the way that RSA is defined in state law.
Well, that RSA needs to be updated.
Yes, it does.
How did it feel, Conan, to have such a miserable failure of a turnout and no achievements regarding reducing the budget? We had 20 activists or so come out to vote to reduce the budget, vote in favor of fiscal responsibility. Mm-hmm. You spearheaded that. You created a Facebook event, rallied the troops, and then nothing.
Well,
how does it feel?
I knew months ago exactly what was going to take place.
So
the whole thing is just...
So you weren't surprised?
I wasn't surprised, but I'll tell you what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to just sit on my ass and bitch and complain when the taxes go up. I'm going to...
So you feel like you have to do it even though you know it's going to be a failure?
Yeah, it's to get out there and let the people know. All the signatures I got, the people I talked to are who are on board. They're like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is, I'm glad you're doing this, because I don't have the time to do it. I can't take Saturday off. Most people don't work Saturdays, but some people do. I can't go to this silly meeting for 6 hours or however long it might be this year, and sit and they know they're going to lose. They know that when they read in the paper. People coming out in force against things like the Bearcat or against Jonathan Daniels being closed. People came out in force and we don't want this to happen. We don't want a Bearcat. We don't want this elementary school to close.
We don't want this $5 increase on the.
We don't want a $5 vehicle registration fee. And guess what they do at the end of the day? Guess what they still do?
They always do what they want, and they don't listen to the people.
Because the people who run for these positions are the statists who have an agenda. They believe that we can spend our way out of problems. And if we want people to move here, we need to make everything as beautiful as possible. Curbs and brand new schools and brand new courthouses and a new nursing home and all the night. And that's going to incentivize people to want to come move here.
Yeah.
Except guess what? It also raises taxes, and that prevents people from wanting to move here. That makes people want to move in the outlying cities. And drive to Keene to use the amenities here in Keene.
But we have to spend more money because we have fewer students.
That's right.
It reminded me of the Bearcat issue and the rest of the events where people come out to speak to the school board or any sorts of government bureaucracies, and then they don't listen to the people at all.
Yeah,
they don't consider what you want. They're just like, we're going to spend your money, and you're going to like it. it was amazing to me to be a part of this event. I sort of expected, I didn't have the same expectations as you. I thought maybe if we go and we all vote in favor of reducing the budget, it'll actually work, or we'll be close. We weren't even close.
Well, at least this year,
18% was the highest.
The
18%
default
what?
budget is lower than the proposed budget.
I don't know what that means.
So voting no on the proposed budget during the school board election actually does something this year. Normally, it's, do you want to increase the budget by 5% or 7%?
Okay.
At least this year, it's, do you want to increase the budget by 3% or cut it by 0.25%?
Okay, so the options got better this year. Is that
Yes.
one measurable difference of improvement?
Yes, and that was not
That was
directly
not
because of us.
directly related to anybody.
That
from
was
what
just,
they were.
Think so, Shaunna?
No, because they were talking about it the day before on WKBK when I had Coates, Black, and Woolridge on, and I want to say it was Coates who said it just because I want to think that it was him, but he, pointed out that the default budget this year is innovative and that it's smaller than the proposed budget. And he was still warning against it, saying, they didn't say they have an agenda. They don't have an agenda. They have a strategic plan.
What's the
That's an
difference?
agenda.
That's, thank you for your courage. It is a strategic plan. It's not an agenda. And if you vote so that they have to go by the default budget, that's going against their strategic plan.
Right, deviating from the strategic plan is dangerous and irresponsible. And if you do these things, people will lose their jobs, and the kids will suffer.
Which I think is a cover for saying, we're going to do what we want to do anyways, because we're not doing what we want to do. We're following the strategic plan.
Yeah, it's funny how much of politics is just language. It's just words. Like what Shaun is pointing out is like, oh, agenda is bad, but strategic plan is great, and you really can't deviate from a strategic plan
or the
strategy behind it,
or the Keene master plan. How do you like that?
That was a big mistake. I mean, I can't believe they would put their feet in their mouths that way. I mean, the master plan. Anyway,
someone obviously hasn't read history. I mean, I don't know why you would. Are we talking about the actual title of the plan? That's kind of a scary title.
Yeah, and Garrett Ian has done some funny ambush interviews of the Tom Mullins, I think is his name, the court jester. I don't know what his official position is.
City attorney.
Thank you. And asked him, what do you think about the master plan? And he'll tell you. I mean, he knows this master plan. Most people in Keene wouldn't. They wouldn't have any idea what it means. But the city bureaucrats certainly know it and respect it.
Wow. Crap.
But anyway, I think this could also segue into how awesome you are, Conan. I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about that because you set up this event. You had the expectations. Excellent. You knew what you were doing. How many warrant articles or ballot initiatives, whatever they're called, did you propose for this event?
I submitted 4 this year.
Yeah.
Ran them past Mr. Darryl here, and I got him to slap some legalese on them.
And what did that entail? I mean, how many hours of effort were you... I saw you one day when I was walking to City Hall to contest a parking ticket. I'm like, oh, hey, Conan's here getting signatures.
The signatures, I spent more time devising the warrants and researching how they should be written than I did actually getting signatures.
And you work.
But I work.
You have a kid.
Semi full time. Sashi's on her own now, so at least I have that going for me.
Okay, so you've got, but still, I think it's amazing. You do this show. You are active in local politics. You're an artist, and you work. Most people, they pull out 1 or 2 of those things as excuses why they can't do anything else. Yeah. But you're doing it all, and I appreciate that. So thank you for producing this awesome show. No, thank you, because you do great work.
Well, Derek, we have a question from Nick. He says, Derek, conservatives have been fear-mongering about the gay strategic plan and gay master plan. What is that?
Oh, the gay master plan. Well, Nick, I'm sure he knows. I don't want to reveal the secret to the audience, because we'll have to...
Speaking code, like, there's a gay code, right?
Yeah.
Speak in the gay code, and then only the gay people will know what you're talking about.
Here you go.
Nobody will ever oppress you here.
But don't they
Is that
already
the
know what the
plan?
Don't they already know what the plan is anyways?
That's the
Yeah,
plan.
we all know the plan. We can't tell any of the straight people, or you'll all have to see the queen.
Oh crap! What if we listen to your show?
Yeah, it might spill out a little bit on the show, and people can catch Flaming Freedom live at Liberty Forum coming up March 5th. It's
Oh,
going to
wow.
be
Hold on. So the
very
gay
special
master
episode.
plan is smegma?
no, absolutely not.
Well, you said it would spill out, and that's generally what
Oh.
you spill out during the show.
So anyway, speaking of people's shows, so I listened to your show, the first one, which
I'm so sorry.
which had a little tidbit of a audio echo for the first 15
So
minutes.
embarrassing. No, it was not a Fiend Phone issue.
But I
no,
could,
I said you should have used Fiend.
well, that's where they've gone, right?
No, we have not. Daryl, this was, and I don't feel any hardship explaining. Our co-host just jumped onto the show without any warning. Just, I'm in now, and we didn't get to do a test. We were trying to do a test like beforehand.
sounds exciting.
And she's like, "Here I am," and my audio sucks.
And then she was.
And it was
Ooh.
like, okay, well,
Narrowing
I
it
want to kick
down.
you out. Sorry. And she's gone now. And it's not because of audio issues, but emotional things. And we
she's
get we get personal in the show. And I like to talk about sex. So
That's what I got from the show was you were ready to charge in there and start having these conversations. And I think some of your even
Dale,
even Dale was
he was thrown off a bit.
they were like,
They
wait,
want to talk about liberty and gay stuff, and like, okay, that's sort of fun, but like, can we get to the down and dirty stuff, please? That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, I think Dale will stick with it, but he just was thrown off of a loop for a second there, and but Lauren was definitely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
About how much she wanted to. She was, deciding how much she wanted to talk about.
She said she doesn't even masturbate more than once a month. I'm like, come
Well-
on, how
well,
much sex talk can you give me if you're not masturbating
Or in a relationship,
or having
yeah.
sex, like
or dating, or any of the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard.
yeah.
So, maybe that wasn't a good idea then. Maybe it was, a good thing that she's not.
We had to go through it.
Yeah.
And I guess there are people like that out there.
Yes.
I mean, I don't want to ask on this show. I'll keep your show family friendly. But if people want to hear
this show family friendly?
I don't know. We weren't playing the right drop whenever we were having that conversation.
well,
But
I
now-
dressed like Mr. Rogers for this show because I wanted to keep it like sort of.
Throw everybody off.
Yeah. Don't
crap.
reveal my MO.
Yeah, I'll definitely be checking that out when I can.
Yeah, dude, it's not all gay sex stuff. We're going to have a straight guy on the show next week. We're going to get his reaction to one of those dildo videos of people taking huge things up their asses. And
Is he also gonna participate in
doesn't
Males
know.
or females?
it's a male, yeah. I mean, duh.
Is he gonna participate in the
There's only so much ping pong you can
ass
watch.
shaving party?
No, there won't be shaving. It's going to be waxing. Ass waxing party.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I don't want
Ass
to
wax.
participate in that. Like, I thought it was going to turn into an orgy. I thought it was basically just an excuse to get a bunch of gay guys naked in a hotel room and then have an orgy.
Ass
but Dale
wax.
insists it's not about having an orgy. He's really just concerned about waxing. I'm like, do that on your own time, man. I'm not interested. Go pay a professional. I want the orgy.
Oh God.
Sorry.
Well, I'll be waiting for that story.
Yeah,
So
I'll
is there
bring a
going to be
camera.
another lesbian porn Viagra challenge?
I hope not. That was awful. It took an hour for us to get through all that lesbian porn and finally someone pop a boner.
Wait, what happened?
Seriously.
Wait.
Enlighten me.
So we watched lesbian porn.
You and
four
Derrick.
gay guys
Okay.
in Dale's apartment, and we had Luther as our porn jockey, and he put
Aw.
on all sorts of kinky stuff. I mean, it started out very normal and schoolgirl this and lesbian that, but then it ended up being milk being squirted from random orifices and. There was vomiting at one point. It was
What?
really
Oh, you're talking
awful.
about what you were watching. He was putting some sick stuff on there.
Yeah, it started out normal, but then it became so crazy. And ironically enough, like that, I guess, is what did it for Neil, because he was eventually the loser of the challenge. Actually, I think Dale was considered the loser of the challenge, but the secret's out.
The challenge is
Dale likes vaginas.
is for a
Wearing a
gay
cup.
dude to not get
Who was
an
wearing a cup?
erection while
Neil cheated.
What?
Yeah, Neil
So
cheated on the challenge, so I say he's disqualified. He loses right off the bat.
I would say so, yeah.
Can't tell. Can you believe that? How do you do that? I don't think we're all. I mean, I thought we were all confident, and it's okay. I mean, whatever turns you on, man. I'm not gonna judge.
The best part about that was Del Everett saying vaginas are kind of hot.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's true, and that's what we put at the end because he was the one who he did pop a boner, but he says, "Oh, I shouldn't have scratched myself." That's the thing I forgot to mention. We all took Viagra at the beginning of the viewing,
like
So,
ISIS fighters in Syria.
Well, it was like a way to handicap ourselves, you know, like if anything is even remotely sexy, you're gonna have a boner. But I was not interested, and Andre was not interested either.
Well, one thing we did find out about getting back to the deliberative session, we found out that
Speaking of boners,
Yeah, woo.
the articles weren't completely annihilated, nullified like they were last year. They were made advisory, which is a good thing because now, so the wording is still there, but the board only has to take them under advisement. So it will be really nice to see how the voters vote on these ideas, these concepts, and if they vote positively, next year we'll be able to go do the same silly thing again and be like, hey, look, you had a whole year to take these things under consideration. And
we considered them and determined that they were not part of the strategic plan. And we have a strategy here, and we must follow the strategy.
Right. They can say that, and I'll be like, well, hold on.
Conan, you're out of order.
Well, hold on now.
You're out of order.
Look at.
You're out of order.
Stop. Look how they voted on this.
You're out of order.
The people were positive about this. They wanted this change. Here were some of the articles. Reduce the budget by $500 per student for the next 5 years until it reaches the state average.
Sounds reasonable.
Sounds all right. Another one was reduce the executive administration portion of the budget by 5%.
What could possibly their objections be?
Okay, so one guy stood up and said, "This doesn't work because math."
Dude, you're way too loud.
Yes, you're.
Yeah, like that happened on the day I was born.
me.
So this doesn't work because math. Because if you're averaging things, well, not every school calculates their budget the same way, so therefore, bad math. And if you're averaging and Keene is included in the average, then that's going to throw off the average because you can't include something in the average to calculate the average. If it is supposed to equal the average.
That was the guy who actually sounded like he could be reasonable. I mean, the basic gist of like the overarching objection to all of them was kind of summed up later on when I think it was Panza and other people on the board were basically saying like, where were you guys during the year?
Yeah, it's like hey, if you guys want to make changes, which goes back to my original conversation. It doesn't matter if I come to these meetings. You're still going to vote the way you want to in a day, unless, of course, it's someone who wants to increase the budget. Oh, hey, we need another teacher in this position or something. And then they'll, like they did this year, it was 9.5%, and they added some more teachers or whatever. So yeah, if you're going to add to their strategic plan, oh yeah, they might deal with you. But if you want to reduce, like I do, because I think that's. Because we're out of our means right now, then no, they're not going to listen to you.
And then there was somebody else that said, well, if you just want to be average, then, that's on you. But I think that we're better than that.
Yeah, the girl who talked about, Susan Hay, the one who talked about we can't have a minority come into these meetings and telling us how to do our jobs.
It does kind of look like that's what's going on when everybody waits until the last fucking day of figuring out what they're going to put on their ballot.
So
I mean, it's a really good point that they have that nobody actually has any answer to other than just going on ideology.
Yeah.
When they say during the year, nobody shows up to these meetings. Oh, well, this one guy who's running for school board right now this year, he showed up he showed up a couple times, but everybody else just kind of shows up on the last day and says, "Where's all this money going?" So
everyone, not even the supporters show up on the last day.
Well, what about Shaunna's point here? I mean, how do we know we're not just in some echo chamber where we're like, oh, they just hate us and they don't want freedom and they want to spend all kinds of money and steal it from people? Like, how do we know?
You know, because you
weren't
feel
friends
really
with someone
comfortable saying it over and over again.
Because when I go out getting signatures, I get a good idea of the people, what the climate is out there. I'm not living in this echo chamber only talking to you guys. Getting signatures requires me to go out and actually talk to people, and or in the people I work with. You know, everyone is on board.
And how many signatures did you?
Well, I only needed 25, but I mean, you know, more than half of those were from people in Keene. There's only a couple of them, maybe a dozen, that were actually echo chamber types.
And so what sort of alternative? Because there's definitely people out there who are going to be flipping channels in Keene, and they're going to see Black Sheep Rising and hear us talking about why we want to reduce the budget for the school. But you're not anti-education, Conan. What would be your alternative if kids weren't going to the local school?
Fuck the children.
No, I'm not anti-education. I'm anti-school. I'm anti-prison. I want the kid. I know, you know, a lot of these school board members that we haven't been in school for 40 years. You know, these are old folks. They don't know what the school environment is like right now. It's dull. It's boring. It steps on children's creativity. You've got smart kids who are being held back because they have to learn at the same level as the dummies. You've got dummies who can't keep up because they need slower learning to actually, you know, learn.
But school's been like that for 40, 50 years or more.
I think it's getting worse. And by the way, so I had my experiences. She didn't graduate, but she was just in high school. You know, so I had feedback from her. School is. I've walked through Keene High School, and it's like a friggin' prison. You've got to get buzzed in, and you're walking down these sterilized hallways, and all the doors are shut, and it's just...
Is that the high school where this meeting took place?
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with you. I thought they had very artistic walls, at least compared to my high school.
Yes, I will admit, and I've actually taken some photos of some of the artwork. There is some really good artwork in that school.
Yeah, they've got images, and they've got students' artwork. They have the word dream up on the wall with the definitions, and like inspire and integrity, all these flashy words for the kids to see all day. I was not put off by the school. I expected to be like, whoa, it's a prison. But I have to say, credit where credit's due, the school looks pretty reasonable.
Well, I'll have to say they're spending over $20,000 per student per year.
$20,000 per student per year? That's excessive. That sounds like a lot. Where's all that money going?
For that much money, they better be doing a damn good job.
That's like 3 students pays for the teacher's salary. Where's the rest of the money go? If there's like 30 kids in the school.
It goes to administration. It goes to heating the buildings. It goes to, you know, a lot of it's transportation and stuff.
I think it could be done cheaper.
I know that it can.
It could be.
I know that it can. Private schools don't run. Charter schools don't run off that same amount.
Yeah,
the
charter schools are only getting like $6,000 per student.
So how do we make that point to the school board, or do you think it just doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. The only way, and that's what my warrants were about. They were tools to force them to lower the budget. They weren't suggestions. They weren't. This help. I wasn't actually telling them, and some of the people were complaining about this. Well, how are we going to do this? You know, you want to remove all this money, but how are we going to do it? You're not actually telling us how to do it.
At me.
Well, it doesn't. It's not my job. You just need to reduce the budget because your taxation is actually chasing people out of this community, unless that's what they want at the end of the day, because they're a bunch of richers who want to chase off all the poor folk. Which is could.
I just remembered who it is that's running for school board. It's Joe Mirzov.
Yeah, Joe Mirzov is actually running, and there was one topic that I want to get with Joe about before I actually vote for him, because if he's going to go positive with it, then I can't vote for you, Joe, because I'm really against Common Core.
I'm sorry, I have such bad hearing today. I can't even speak straight, so that's why I'm slurring.
Do you think there's even a chance that Common Core won't pass? I mean, it's one of those things like Real ID didn't pass.
Yeah, they're already spending the money in every state, even if it, like for example, it's going into effect this year in New Hampshire.
I'm not sure.
It's already been adopted.
But I mean, it might get
it's
kicked.
part of their-
I thought there was. I
There are
thought there was
state-
legislation that might get kicked down.
There's legislation that that basically says that Common Core cannot be forced, that it would be school choice. Like each school district would get to choose.
Oh, the
Yeah, well,
school
they-
district.
There's other stuff saying that it can't be implemented at all. What they did in Indiana last year was their legislature passed something saying, we are not using Common Core, we're using this other thing. And the other thing was Common Core by another name.
Brought to you by Verizon.
Winning.
Yeah, it's dumb. And the way I see it is, who is really pushing Common Core? It's the corporations. They want tax slaves. They want debt slaves or labor slaves that follow orders and show up on time, and they're not creative. They're not asking questions. They're not thinking out of the box. They're just rule followers.
There's a question about the live stream stuff coming off of the cameras and not the microphones out of the mixing board.
That might be something I'll have to fix in the second segment. I might have clicked the wrong button. Yeah, I'll get on that. So if corporations want this, then it can't be good because they just want monkeys. They just want sheep to push buttons and put out product. I want creative people who are not afraid to ask questions and think outside the box.
So here's how I sort of see the school issue. It's like a meteor that's heading towards Earth, and the only thing you can really do is get out of the way. You can't really stop the meteor. You know, this Common Core thing is coming, and, you know, it may be that the corporations designed it in cahoots with some politicians who line their pockets with backroom deals.
Yeah.
But the best thing you can do is really protect your own students, your own children, the people who you know in your family, educate them in alternative ways, offer them books, help get them out of school early, perhaps. I mean, look at some alternative methods of education rather than allowing them or subjecting them to this.
Well, they're starting
corporation-driven agenda, right?
They're starting an unschool here. I don't know what they actually call themselves here in Keene.
Really? Who's that? Is it
know.
is it a group of activists or is it just regular?
I don't know who's starting it, but they get with the kids at the beginning of the year, and the kids decide what they want to learn, and they go to town on it.
See, that's so cool. I think that we're in a few years or in one generation, you'll see the unschoolers versus the regular government education schoolers. You'll be able to see a very clear difference in what sort of achievement levels are produced from each. Like already the government schools, we're seeing illiteracy rates that we haven't seen since like the 1800s.
Yeah.
So it's pretty alarming how bad the schools are failing children. With just a few alternatives, it would be really cool to see how different the outcomes could be.
So, Derrick, you had mentioned about people needing to get out of the government schools early.
Yeah.
And you actually wrote a letter to your sisters.
Yeah.
And that has had some backlash from some of your family.
Yeah, that's a very personal issue, and I'm happy to address it here because I think like I love my sisters, I care about them. They're 12 years old, they're twins, and they're in 7th grade, and I want them to rise up, which is another term for drop out. Drop out is such a negative term. We talked earlier about language and how important it is. Well, I want them to rise up out of the government school and do their own thing. My sister, you'll appreciate this, Conan. She wants to be an artist, an animator. Yep. She's 12 years old. What's she going to learn in elementary school or middle school about becoming an artist?
She's going to have to learn everything else, and then there might be some time left over where she can learn. There might be a class, an elective, where she can learn some animation.
She's going to learn that.
She's already stressed to death, and the best thing for her, I got her a drawing pad, and I set her up with Photoshop. So it's like, here's what you need. She already, on her own, figured out how to make a GIF, an animated GIF, with a little like happy bunny and a cat, and then it turns and they're on fire and it's a skull. And so it's like
awesome.
Hey, how cool that she did this on her own from her imagination. Yeah. She could come up with a webcomic at age 12, start producing it on a regular weekly basis or so,
and actually make money.
Make money, and by 16 be hired by Marvel Comics or something. But but that's not possible if she stays in in this school environment, which I think is doing her no good. It's surrounding her with stress. It's surrounding her with peers who are only going to reinforce you have to be cool, you have to conform, you have to submit to authority.
You need to go to college.
You need to go to college. You need to go into debt. I think she's going to learn all the wrong things in school. So the earlier she can get out, the better. And so I wrote this personal email to both of my sisters saying this, saying the things you learn in school are not valuable, are not important in life. You're going to find that out too late, like I did. So while our parents are saying, look up to your older brother, he did great in school. I got tons of awards. I swept the awards ceremony in school.
You can do it!
It's not worth anything. Yeah. It's a total lie that it's going to bring you achievements later in life. And my brother and sister both know that. We should be honest about it. We should tell our younger sisters, if we love them, we owe them our honesty.
Good. And hopefully, well, there's no telling because there's a problem with that. You can't just drop out of high school. There's laws that prevent you. That before you know it, you've got the...
Sure you can. You can test out a GED. You could test out in 8th grade.
In some states.
In some states.
In New Jersey, you can do that. I had a friend who, we were in elementary school together, and then in 8th grade, after that, I never saw him in high school, and I was wondering, why don't I see Gabe? Turns out he was taking college classes when I was in 9th grade. Why is that? Because he took his GED before he took day 1 of 9th grade, and he passed, because you don't need high school to pass a GED.
Yeah, you don't.
It's a waste of time, and it's so stressful. These poor kids. I mean, remember what it was like? I had a horrible, nightmarish time in high school. Some people actually had fun, but I was just trying to survive.
The older I got, the more fun high school became. But I still only got up to 10th grade, and I decided, you know what, this is not for me. I want to go make money,
right?
And have a vehicle and a place to live and do my own thing because I don't want to live under my parents' roof because I got my own mind. And this is I've already learned what I need to learn. And so I was years ahead of all my buddies. I would come back and hang out with my buddies, and they were still in high school, and here I am. I've been living on my own, got my vehicle, and it was a dream for me.
And think about now how many more opportunities there are because of the internet to self-educate. Like, it's so specific what you want to learn.
Yeah, I didn't have any of that when I was in high school. Well, I mean, it was just blooming, but I mean, it wasn't there.
We didn't have the internet in high school.
I don't think. Yeah, I had a computer, but there was no. Yeah, there was no internet. I don't even think we had dial-up yet.
It was my senior year, and they brought us into the library to tell us about quote unquote this thing called the internet. And I was like, that seems kind of like a waste of time. Like, I know how the card rack thing works, and I know the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah,
like, I know where to find the books. Like, I don't need a computer to tell me what book to go look
I have to say, even considering all the waste of time on the internet, it is just it's a game changer. I mean, you can learn everything. It's all available. And some of us are actually creating video content. We're not just sucking it down, but we're actually creating video because or blogs or whatever for everyone else to take advantage of, because we know how important it is to get the information out there, and it's a game changer. I mean, here we are talking about Keene politics and what really went down at the school deliberative session that you're not going to get in the Sentinel. You might get some quotes in the Sentinel.
You might get a letter to the editor or two.
Yeah, you might Darryl or I might write a letter to the editor, which we did, and I thought they were very nice, talking about democracy and how shitty it really is, and how really it is. It's two wolves and a sheep deciding what's for lunch, and how the fuck could that be fair? I mean,
thank you for doing that too. Writing letters to the editor, something Gandhi was known for before he really blew up in fame, because it's a way to reach the people where they're at, and I forget sometimes how most people are pro-democracy.
A lot of people in this country. It's like, this is such a good thing. Look how great our country is because of democracy.
There's a lot of propaganda around the word democracy, and when you are iconoclastic like that and sort of attack that word and say, democracy isn't that great. Think about it. If you have two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner, think of who's going to fry. So I think when you put it that way, people can see that maybe this isn't really in their best interest and maybe start to look for some alternatives. So thank you for writing those letters to the editor. Both
most people are still going to look at it and be like, you're just griping because you're in the minority.
Because you lost.
I'm in the majority, so therefore democracy's still good. So just suck it up, loser.
Until they are at the 50% mark, or actually in the minority, and then they'll start complaining like, I don't like this system either.
What was it, Margaret Thatcher, who said the problem with socialism is eventually you run out of other people's money?
Yes.
And I think, when we use the term socialism, democracy could be interchanged there, because you're really just talking about people voting other people's money away.
Or an entitlement society, which is what we're in. Every year, the government takes over some other responsibility, some other department, because of stupid people. Because stupid people can't take care of themselves. Therefore, we need to provide health care for them. We need to take care of their kids. Pretty soon, all food, it won't just be WIC and food stamps. Everyone will have a food card.
Hooray!
Yeah, hooray! Because people don't know how to eat right.
Yeah, and then starvation. Actually, it's sad. I don't mean to bring it all down, but that's what happens with socialist economies: is they can't provide things as basic as toilet paper, as we're seeing in Venezuela.
They start to run out of things. They run out of money. Exactly.
Well, in Venezuela, you've got people that are smuggling things out of the country because they can make more money in Colombia selling that toilet paper. They can make more money selling the gasoline by smuggling it out of the country. So it's not necessarily that they can't produce the things.
It's just that people have freedom of movement across borders.
No, it's that they can't make money selling it where they're producing it because of the centrally planned economy that says this is what our money is worth, but things are really a lot more valuable than what they're saying the money is worth. The official exchange rate between the U.S. dollar and the Venezuelan, whatever it is, the Bolivar, I believe it's 6 or 7. The unofficial exchange rate is 180 to 1.
Did you guys see this article here by the owlpellet.com?
Yeah.
This article came out a couple weeks ago. I read it and had a nice little laugh. I thought it was very, very fun, very creative. It talks about the local activist group Free Keene, currently on the streets protesting the city's snow plows, which they say are illegally stealing snow from the Keene residents. I thought it was great. They used a fake name for the founder of the
They also
Free Keene.
used a really funny picture. If you look at the picture, then you will notice that all of the words are backwards on the sign.
Now, so that was funny. And I put it to the side, forgot about it. And then later on that day and in days afterwards, we were bombarded with people either asking us personally, dude, what the hell's wrong with you stealing snow? Or people starting whole blogs on how retarded these people are that they would go out and do this. Because they believe,
you guys are idiots.
Because they believed what this article was trying to convey. Which disturbs me.
Although we should have Thomas Goban on the show at some point.
Yes, if we find Thomas Goban,
the Free Keene founder, Thomas Goban, according to the Owl Pellet, we need to have him on the show if we can locate him.
I agree. Here's just one example of a post that was captured. Right after this came out, this is ridiculous. They plow the streets to make it safe for cars to drive on. This person was right on board with this article, believed every word of it, even the plow man probably hitting the activist at the end. If this person even read it, they might have just read the title and then stopped there.
And then the first commenter, well, if the snow in the streets is theirs, why aren't the bumps and potholes theirs to fix? Oh, that's right. Then they need the government.
That's right.
LMAO.
That's right.
Yeah, the government's doing a great job at all those potholes in Keene.
Well, they only have so many workers, Derek. Maybe they need more workers and more money and more...
I think we need more freedom. It's freedom to be able to fix the problems ourselves. In a lot of places, it's actually illegal to fix potholes yourself, and I believe New Hampshire is one of those places.
Yeah, there was the pothole Robin Hooder in, what was it, Alabama?
Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi, I believe.
Yeah, this person went around and filled the potholes. I think he actually went to a public...
He went to the public works facility and took the tar and patch, went out, filled the potholes, and then he spray painted, fixed by Robin Hood.
Well, why would he take the supplies from public works rather than...
Because Robin Hood took from the government and gave back to the people.
I would think also, just off the top of my head, that you would go there because that's where the stuff is that's like acceptable for use. Because when I first think of like, why can't the free people just freely go and fix the roads? Because they're going to put like sand in it. They're going to put cat litter and they're going to fuck it up. Yeah, and if you go to like public,
in the potholes.
Yeah, they're going to do dumb crap like that, and then they're going to prove exactly why there's government in the first place on this planet, and how to deal with this planet because that's the one we're on.
Now I'm thinking that the materials at the public works are readily available, and they are the right recipe to do the job.
I think we could probably do better. You know, people think, oh, the danger is that people would do worse than what the public works people provide, but I think you could actually use better quality products.
There are some people who could. I mean, I know
I'm thinking some people would mess it up.
Some people definitely are.
The issue with freedom, right?
We can just fix it with duct tape.
So that would be their argument. People are going to go out there. They're going to make a mess.
Oh, we can't have freedom.
They're going to do more damage.
Not those people. I'm sorry.
And that would be their argument. This is why we can't have regular people out there fixing their own potholes.
Right, but here's the thing: there are going to be people that fuck anything up. There are people that know what they're doing. There's people that don't know what they're doing. I'm not going to go to a fucking eye doctor to get an oil change.
Well, someone might go to a guy in a garage to get their teeth fixed.
And they should be allowed to do so.
I agree. But the argument is, what's going to happen is that person's going to go to a garage, some Mexican in a garage to get his teeth drilled on, and he's going to get a serious infection.
Why is he gotta be Mexican?
Because
they're really not good with.
I was wondering the same thing. I'm glad you said it.
Yeah,
because Mexicans
They're really good with
work in garages.
You sir,
eyeball stuff, not
racist.
not so much teeth.
And so he messes his mouth up. He gets an infection. Before you know it, he's dying, and he's in the hospital. And guess who pays for the hospital bill? All the people.
But that's a problem of socialism. Not a problem
exactly.
of freedom.
We're peeking to the echo chamber right now. The people out there don't understand that. Instead of trying to fix socialism, you should just get rid of it. All these things will go away. I mean.
And then that guy can just die for being dumb.
And guess what?
And that's
people
what
are going to
happens.
suffer because freedom it's dirty, it's messy, and sometimes it hurts. But that's all about learning from your experiences and the repercussions of making bad decisions.
Socialism hurts too. The difference is how long. I think freedom has short-term pain, long-term gain, whereas socialism has short-term gain, long-term pain.
So did you mention what is on this sign where it says, I will deliver free snow for free Keene?
Just because it's an old picture, you don't need to read it louder.
I think someone tracked this person down as being one of the haters on the hater site. And who knows? She says that she knew that the owl pellet article was satire.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe it
But she went ahead
either.
and put this up, and I don't either.
That's a lot of effort to go through for something that is a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, so what? So that you can add to the joke? I mean, really? No. She intended this to be malicious in some way, but it really ends up looking like egg on her face.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to tie this.
Does anybody else see the face in the window?
Ooh, look at that.
I think that's a poster.
That might be
It's
Jesus.
poster.
That would be an awfully big head.
Actually, you know who it looks like? It looks like not Elton John. Who's the Beatles? John Lennon.
The one who's dead?
Yeah. Well, there's only one left, right?
Yeah,
that looks like John Lennon. But anyways,
and Ringo are both alive.
Yeah, Ringo's alive.
The second Paul McCartney's still alive. Yeah, that's
the
true.
second one. Oh, by the way, they're all doubles.
I totally believe that.
They're all doubles. It's all about the ears, the shape of the ears. I wanted to tie this into some propaganda videos that have been hitting us up for the past 4 or 5 months.
Since at least
from
September?
across the waters that everyone believes, even though they've never seen it. I'm talking about the ISIS videos.
Oh, okay.
The Egyptian god of life.
Yes, Isis, the Egyptian god of life. Because people are just believing whatever they're fed. Some guy with a suit on says, this is the video. We're not going to show it to you because it's nasty, but take our word for it. One of our guys actually watched it, and it's real. And I've watched
what happened anywhere, Brian Williams was there in person.
Exactly. He took the ring to Mordor. What's this place? What's the volcano?
Monrovia?
Monrovia, exactly.
Endor?
Not Endor.
Anaheim?
Someone in the chat might know where Frodo took the ring to throw it off of the thing.
Tatooine?
But we do need to take a break, and maybe I can figure out what's going on with the. I think the audio is good. I think my cable came loose over here. Is a problem. But let's take a little break. This is from the Queen of the Damned soundtrack. The song is called System. All of the songs on that soundtrack were done by Jonathan Davis of Korn. And there was some copyright issues. He couldn't get the album distributed for some reason. Cause
I thought Aaliyah was on that album as well.
Yes. Okay. Well, not on the album. She was the actress.
She's in the movie.
Was that GMO Korn? Or
she was the queen.
Non-GMO
Oh, okay.
It's a very pretty movie.
Very hot.
Cool.
Very hot.
I was too young at the time. I couldn't see it.
It's gnarly. But it's stupid gnarly. But anyways, so Jonathan Davis couldn't get any of his songs out there. I'm thinking this is how it worked. So he took every one of his songs and just gave them out to his buddies, Marilyn Manson, Chester Bennington from whoever he's from, Disturbed. We played that song a good couple of episodes ago. But this is Chester Bennington's rendition of this song, and it's all right. So
it's all right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks, about 2 minutes of it. But,
so, guys,
whatever.
enjoy the song, and we're going to take a break.
It's 3/5 good.
Yeah. We'll see you in a second.
You fell away. What more can I say? The feelings evolved. I won't let it out. I can't replace your screaming face. Feeling the sickness inside. Why won't you die? Your blood in mine will be fine. Then your body will be mine. So many words can't describe my face. This feeling's evolved so soon to break out. I can't relate to a happy state. Feeling the blood run inside. Why won't you die? Your blood in mine will be fine. Then your body will be mine.
Hey guys, we are Black Sheep Rising. We're back. It's the second hour. We were talking about snow. People who can't believe silly Keene people, Keeniacs, would actually have issue with the snow plows. I have issue with them, but actually getting out there and like with signs saying "Don't steal the snow. The snow has rights" or what? I don't even know what the
very well done
article.
Let's bring this article back
Jonathan
up.
Swift would be proud. I do wonder if some of the people of Ireland actually believed that he was advocating for eating babies. So okay, so if the man known for satire all around the world actually had to deal with people who believed his satire, then this is should be a mark of pride for the Owl Pellet that people actually believed their article was serious.
Oh yeah, this kind of reminds me of the North Korea taking issue with an Onion article last year.
Right,
it was pretty good.
They named Kim Jong-il sexiest man alive.
And there was a Chinese newspaper, the Communist Party Chinese newspaper actually ran that in their print edition.
That's funny.
So yeah, let me read a little bit of this. A Free Keene, which is known for advancing its libertarian cause by acting like humongous dicks all the time, decided at its weekly meeting Tuesday to protest city snowplows in the name of libertarianism. The mayor and his cronies think they can just take the snow wherever they want, said Free Keene founder Thomas Gobin, while blocking a city snowplow from clearing Grove Street. Is that a real street here?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they got the name wrong, but at least they got the street right.
Yeah, but I think that was intentional. They weren't looking up any names of real Free Keene bloggers.
Thomas Goban is
They
the
also
person,
don't want to get sued.
Thomas Goban is the person that whenever they mention Free Keene founder, they always use
That's the name that they
Thomas
keep,
Goban.
yeah.
Yeah, this is big government at the worst. People wake up. And was there anything else on your
It mentioned some of the signs that they had. Signs that read, "Take your own snow, freedom from snow thievery, and leave my snow alone."
I have no problem with you guys taking the snow.
Comments are closed.
I just have a problem with the,
I have a problem with the fact that snow falls from the sky and like fuck shit up.
I have a problem with my money being used to clean other people's driveways, like all of the businesses here in Keene. Is there a problem? Is there some reason why they can't hire help or do their own snow removal?
Yeah, because America.
It also does eliminate opportunities for young people to be entrepreneurial. So that one low-skill job that any young person could do to make a few extra bucks anytime there's a snowfall is offer to plow their neighbors' driveways.
Well,
and
there were
walkways.
some kids down in New Jersey that were trying to do that and wound up getting cited for attempted vending without a permit or some bullshit.
So I mean, there you go. I mean, you make it difficult for kids to get licenses so they can drive to and from work. Make it difficult for them to actually get work because of minimum wage really prevents unskilled workers from getting into employment in the first place. And here you go. Now you've got competition because they don't have permits. They didn't go through the process. They didn't get the permits. They didn't get permission from the wise old elves. And here you go. New Jersey, prime example. 2 kids trying to make some bucks.
So
getting slapped down.
Sometimes it's hard to see the loss of freedom happening because it's a slow process. But this is one. I'm 25 years old. I remember shoveling snow for my neighbors in New Jersey when I was a young person. So this is something that I can measurably see in my lifetime. Like, this is one loss of freedom.
Let me ask this question just to see if it's...
What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at the chat room.
Were you...
I'm listening, though.
Chat room, stop being so distracting.
I'm sympathetic.
No, I thought you were laughing at
were you going...
Derrick had a job.
Were you going door to door, handing out flyers saying, "I will clear your driveway"?
No.
Or were they just calling you and saying, "Hey, Derrick,
neither.
Would you like to clear off my driveway? Because I've got this bad hip over here."
And the old man was like,
"Did you hear me? I said get off my lawn now."
He threw a snowball to the back of Derrick's head.
Come in and pet my kitty when you're done.
No, it was like, you'd start to shovel through the next, whatever the neighbor's bordering sidewalk was, and then you'd go up to their door and knock, say, "Hey, could you use, your walk shoveled?"
So
and
you were
usually I wouldn't
soliciting.
Yeah, and I usually wouldn't even make the offer of what to charge. I would just say I'll do it, and then they would just give me whatever.
And all you would have to do is
$20.
And all you had to do is just point at the neighbor's driveway, say, "Hey, look, our sidewalk."
Yeah,
say,
exactly.
"Hey, look,
I'd be like, I just did this one.
Yeah, that's what yours is going to look like when I get done with it.
Exactly.
When you finish paying me however much."
Yeah, and it was good, and it was a learning experience too. As a young entrepreneur, figuring out what people are going to want. Like, you can't sabotage the neighbor's snow. You can't sabotage their yard or something, like by dumping all the snow that you take and like throwing it in their yard. So you really got to please everybody, unlike what the city does, which is when they go through with their plows, they block in everyone's driveway, which is very frustrating. It's not much of a service when it comes down to it, because they do cause more problems than they solve, I think. And they do still make you pay for it. It's not like it's free.
Yeah.
I still say the best way to get rid of snow is flamethrowers.
That would be a cool way. I just think that, freedom would solve the problem better than the government.
Freedom to use a flamethrower to get rid of the snow.
From the article, I thought this was clever satire too, because the people who wrote this obviously have followed Free Keene a little bit, and the goings on at the blog.
They might even be fans.
They might be. One of the fake quotes was, "How does it feel to be a fucking thief, asshole? Would your mommy be proud of you?" And I think those are lines taken directly from Cantwell when he was doing Robin Hooding. So that was pretty funny. I thought that was well
get a
done.
job, thief. Yeah, I remember that.
It's something
Still
like
thief.
that. Yeah.
Well, it got a lot of clicks, so that's what's important.
3.6 thousand likes on Facebook and one tweet.
Interesting. Not a lot of tweeting going on.
Very,
from
very
the Owl
interesting.
Pellet. Yeah.
So, all right. So, anyways, all right. So this I saw multiple screen captures of people who believed that this was real.
Was there anyone
go
in real
back to
life?
the screen capture
Yeah.
from Nick Ryder's page.
I think I closed that one down. But while I'm bringing that one up, Derek, you were working at 101 Deals.
Yeah. So this is the ongoing saga of 101 Deals and their UPS guy. So I work at a libertarian-owned thrift store here in Keene called 101 Deals. And it's on Route 101. And the day I opened the store, I'm turning the key to unlock the front door, the UPS driver pulls up and says, "Hey, you're one of those Free Keene guys, aren't you?" "Yeah, everybody knows. We all heard. It's all over Facebook." And I'm like, yeah, I blog at Free Keene. Some of us also do that and work here. And so he's been generally friendly, never really says anything malicious. It's just sort of a fact that he acknowledged, and it was a little uncomfortable the first day. But then this article comes out, and he comes in to deliver a package that day. He's like, "What's this I'm all reading about you guys blocking the snowplows? Is that some publicity stunt?" Like, I'm dumbfounded. I'm speechless.
Well, he heard it on the
staring
radio.
at him. Yeah, he heard about it on WKBK. I don't know which show, but he was listening
Dan
to the
Mitchell.
radio. Whatever. And he didn't explain how really he heard about it. He did say it was on WKBK, and I guess maybe
Do you
he
even
tuned
listen
in
to all that
midway,
weird crap you say?
and he didn't hear that it was satire. So he actually believed that activists were trying to block snowplows, and was asking me sincerely, was this a publicity stunt? Was this something to gain attention for yourselves?
Yeah.
And I was a little bit cruel, and I wish I could apologize. At the next opportunity, I will, because I was so shocked that a person could believe that this satire piece was real that I said to him,
Almost.
I stopped and paused with my mouth agape. "You actually believed that?
Oh yeah, wow.
And you thought that was a real story?" I was like, "That was satire. That's a joke piece. It's from a paper called The Owl Pellet."
Which, and by the way, you were wrong about
I
what
was
a pellet
wrong.
is.
I said, and I said in quote, "That's poop." And I didn't know that. That's another lie I learned from government school, because that's what my teachers did tell me when we dissected the owl pellets. That it was owl poop, but it's not. They were wrong. It's vomit, as I later learned thanks to Wikipedia, which is better than high school.
Exactly.
Anyway, I was a little bit cruel to the guy. I wish that I sent him on his way with a friendly smile and a laugh, saying, "Oh, I got such a laugh out of it too. I hope you did."
Well, he is a return customer, right? He is your UPS guy.
Yeah,
I would definitely take advantage.
I did the same thing when a coworker did that to me.
Were you a little cruel to them?
Well, I was kind of already on the slope of being cruel to him anyways, or just being like, it's a coworker, they're hell, so it doesn't really matter. But he comes up, is like, "Hey, they're protesting the plows, yeah, buddy." I'm like, "No, you didn't read it, man. You didn't effing read the article, did you?" No, you're gonna take the snow, put it on the driveway. You didn't actually read it, did you? I didn't. I read it. Like, no, you didn't actually read it. Like, I would not even give them the space. And like 3 days before, I went in and was just going on to them personally to other coworkers, bitching about some personal stuff or whatever. And they're like, "But they're protesting the city plows." And I'm like, "No, they're not. That's just crap. That's
Everything
just bull
you read
crap
on the internet is true."
And her I was nice to, and the other one was just like, he was like arguing with me that like this was what had really happened. And I'm like, "No,
I saw it with my own eyes."
I'm like, "Dude, you didn't even read the headline."
But you know what? All right, so I worked in the photo lab at Walmart for about 8 months. By the way, I really liked the job, but there was one thing. We had a lot of kiosks where people would bring their own media in, and they would load up their pictures, and they would crop them or play with the settings, and then they would print their own pictures. So, I mean, it's this is something else that people didn't have 10 years ago. They'd have to send their film off, and they would get whatever came back. Now they can
Thanks to government.
Now they can pick and choose whatever. But there was one thing, and these kiosks are developed for stupid people. There are all kinds of, there are directions, there's step-by-step, there's a step-by-step process on how you do this and that. And it's really simple. As long as you read the step-by-step procedures, you can make magic. Except guess what? For some reason, 90% of the people who come in there do not, unless they've been there before and they've already gone through the steps, they don't fucking read.
So you had to read to them?
I had to show them. I had to step by step. This is how you do it.
And here's what's on the screen right now. Let me read this to you.
I'll actually read it to. I'll read it to them out loud. All right. Let's
Did
just
you do it with a smile, or were you a little bit bitter?
I was a good salesman.
All right,
I'm a much better salesman than you would believe.
That's good. I don't think I would last, Conan. I think I would be mean to them.
That reminds me of when I worked for the airline, and we had these self-check-in kiosks to where you could check yourself in for your flight, and people had no clue how the fuck they worked. Like, you press start,
they would have meltdowns.
They're
like pulling their hair out. How do I do this?
ID, or if you've got your confirmation number, you type that in, and then you just press print, and it prints your fucking ticket, and people are like, "I don't know how this works."
Anybody here worked in food before, like fast food, like where you're standing in front of a menu? Like I know I definitely did it at Subway because that's where I learned how to be nice to humans. But every other job that I had where I'm standing in front of the menu, they'd go up and they'd be like, "How much is 6-inch whatever?"
Oh, it's right here on the menu.
No,
right
I would physically turn around and be like, "I don't know." "Oh, it's $5.49.
I thought you learned how to be nice to people at this job.
No, it was it was from Subway. Yeah.
When I was a kid, my dad used to run a concession stand, and I would work in the concession stand. And people would come up, like, other kids a little bit older than me would come up with a handful of change, drop it on the counter. "What can I get with this?" And drop like a handful of change. So I'd have to count it and then be like, "All right, so you can get like a bag of chips, or you can get this, or like tell them all the things," because they wouldn't know how to count their change.
I'd just have them standing at the counter.
I worked.
I would say nothing and just take their money.
I worked at a convenience store.
This is mine now. You get nothing.
Yep.
I don't see anything on this counter.
I actually worked at a gas station for a couple of months, and when the drunks would come in after hours, I would just hand them like a penny roll.
For what?
They would come in with their change from their cars. I'd be like, "All right, fill this up." And I would watch and make sure they weren't putting something else in the roll. The penny rolls.
Jeremiah is so funny. Darryl is so quiet. Turn up his mic.
Yeah,
See, finally somebody agrees with me.
Yeah, I'll get on that. Did you
Shaunna seems a little loud.
Did you see something else on
just
this?
angry.
No, I'm not. I mean, her levels.
Shaunna, tell us something.
I got nothing to tell any of you guys.
She looks good.
Ain't no one listening to
the
this.
dickhole that posted this, his first comment on the thread is, "I vote they be forced to shovel it all with iced tea spoons for being disruptive." And then someone else says, where was it? Somebody said something about their they're impeding traffic, creating dangerous conditions for other drivers. Arrest them!
It sounds like people really did fall for it and really thought it through. I mean, it doesn't show what happened after, if anybody responded to Nick Ryder at the bottom. You know this is a parody. I had the same situation with a friend. I didn't screenshot it because, I don't know, I still consider her a friend. And I explained, like, this is satire. Well, even though it's satire, they still shouldn't do it. I don't care why they're doing it, if they're doing it because it's satire or not. And I'm like...
So she didn't know what satire means?
She didn't understand that the article was satire.
Not the event itself.
Not the event,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Which is actually, I would say, giving her credit to take it like that. And I explained, no, the article is fake. And she just held on saying, you know, well... That does.
I don't care if it's a fake.
No, it just said I don't.
Still shouldn't have done it.
No, it just said it. Even though it's fake, they're still all douchebags or something. And I wanted to say so hard, like, you would sound like less of an idiot if you posted something from Free Keene and said, therefore these guys are douchebags.
But I mean, look at this.
Like,
look at this header. I mean, it looks so professional. Their T is on the white. You can hardly read it.
That's assuming anybody
actually. You can't read it either.
He Pele.
Yeah, he Pele.
It's Greek.
But that brings up a good point. I mean, they see a convincing site like this.
If they even clicked on the link, I'm sure
they don't click on the link. They just read the title of it: "Free Keene activists protest city snowplows." But you know what? It's not just this though. It's the nightly news.
No,
some guy in a suit, Brian Williams, throwing his being on the old helicopter of doom.
Judge Janine.
The second sentence in this article says that Free Keene, which is known for advancing its libertarian cause by acting like humongous dicks all the time.
Yeah.
So if they got to the second sentence, they would know that it's a fake article because the Sentinel wouldn't say humongous dicks. For example,
it's from some website like ChristopherCantwell.com where they just use outrageous language and say "fuck you." They're just reporting on the news and adding in their little bit of commentary.
And it's opinion.
I would think if they got to that second sentence, they'd be like, "Oh, this person's talking to me. I identify with it because I hate them because, well, perception is reality." So there you go. I don't know how that happened.
Well, I said in the first segment when we were leading up to this, or leading after this, but this is horrible that people are so scammed. They fall into this trap as long as one of their buddies said it. This is, hey, check this out. I just got this firsthand. It's real.
Well, that's pretty good rules to live by, right? If we can't trust our friends, if we don't think they're reliable, like, we can't investigate every single thing we hear.
Yeah.
It's just, it would be impossible. Well, so we kind of have to rely on our friends to be reliable sources of information sometimes. I mean, I can understand why this sort of mistake would happen if they didn't read the article. But then when they're like, no, really, when they insist without any more
matter,
evidence,
still hate them.
that's when it starts to get ridiculous. I was shocked that people did take this seriously. But as Darryl pointed out, even Irish believed that Jonathan Swift was advocating for eating babies. So I guess
that's what I was told in high school.
People will believe some pretty crazy things.
Well, about that then.
Well, for a little second I was surprised, and then I thought about it. No, I'm not at all surprised because we have this propaganda coming from a unknown group that they don't have a country. They all have British accents, and of course I'm talking about Isis, the Egyptian god of what?
I think it's like the
fertility,
god of life, or something.
No one's seen these videos. I don't want to show any of the gnarliness that comes off these videos, that comes out of these videos. because I don't want my YouTube channel getting taken down. But no one's seen this. They've only heard about it secondhand. They've heard about it from someone in a suit that says, "Hey, look, don't watch this. It's grody, but take our word for it. It's this is real. This is worth going to war for."
So,
which by the way is exactly what's happening. This is just more drones and more missiles and more countries getting on the old bandwagon, bombing who? We don't even know who these people are. We don't know where they're at. And yet countries are being bombed right now. Syria, Libya, they're being bombed. I mean, but no one knows where these people are. What, Darryl?
So you said that you don't want to play this because you don't want the YouTube channel to be taken down. Is there any evidence that that's actually why somebody's YouTube channel got taken down?
Say that again?
I said, is there any evidence that somebody's YouTube channel got erased because of this video?
No, there is no evidence. But I'm thinking.
Can imagine it happening.
I know that some live leak versions of this have been taken down. The videos are not there anymore. If you click on links, this.
But is that because the person removed the video themselves?
No, I'm thinking
unlikely. They usually get flagged. I've had live leak videos get flagged for much less.
Copyright infringement.
There are live
filed by Disney.
Yes, someone is already. Yeah, God.
No, because remember a while back, there was the story on the Alex Jones website about people's Facebook pages being taken down because they shared a picture of the Gadsden flag. And of course, there was no fucking evidence that that's why anything happened.
It's probably Alex Jones taking his own videos down to prove a point. It was really just him.
Or my brother getting his account deleted for being a dick.
Well, there were links to this video on Live Link. They're no longer there. If you go there, it says this item has been deleted. We don't partake in this type of video. But and this is a pretty gnarly one. But you know what? I see the same thing on Hollywood movies. Every time I watch a movie, it's no different.
I've seen worse stuff on live leak videos. I've seen worse stuff on YouTube videos.
You're right. There are worse ones out there, and yet this one got pulled. But what I really wanted to focus on is the quality, the high quality of this video. I mean, we're talking about people driving around in their Toyotas, stirring up all kinds of trouble, potential terrorists, but. How are they able to produce such a high quality video? I mean, look at all the.
Because it doesn't cost very much to produce high quality video anymore.
But I mean, look at this. This is like Hollywood. Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at all the fades. Look at all the different camera angles they've got going on here. Look at those nice crisp uniforms. This is very unbelievable.
What?
This is unbelievable that people would.
To you, I don't see any evidence why this is unbelievable.
Well, you've got a guy here who's about to go to his death, and here he is, walking, prancing around like, he's playing the part.
Well, he's got a gun to his head.
He doesn't have a gun to his head.
Not on the video, but metaphorically, right? I mean, they're saying, look, we're going to kill you. We're going to do bad things to your family. You got to read these words on our camera, or we're going to do
these guys don't have this, guys. He according to
what happened. How do you know?
Because he was a pilot. He crashed. And they got him. His parents.
Conan knows. He knows what's going on with ISIS.
His family
from Conan.
His family is not in the picture. All I'm doing is I'm looking at this video. It looks like a movie.
Okay, that's points for ISIS for a well-produced propaganda video.
But you brought exactly. But you brought up a good point. Is why is everyone taking this down? Why this should be something that people, even if it's grody, people should be able to see this and come to their own conclusions. So you have my opinion.
Yeah, but that's not up to. So there's liability for people like YouTube. People are going to cause this big stir. It's a responsibility of individuals to be able to host this. You could host this on your server, Conan. Mm-hmm. There's nothing stopping you. So you could host the video on your own website if you want to. No one's going to take it down.
No, my link might not get my link's not going to get taken down.
If you host the video on some site like YouTube or Live Link servers, then yes. But if you have your own server space and you rip a copy of this video, no one's going to take it down from your server.
No.
So it's personal responsibility. Go serve it yourself.
Well, this is being hosted on a personal server I'll definitely share that link, and people can come to their own conclusions.
Wait,
you don't
a
have to,
personal server? This looks like it says live link up
No,
here.
this is zerocensorship.com.
Ah,
This
okay.
was taken
But it
from this was taken
so
from
it's a
live
rip
link
or something. I see.
So the live link version is not there any longer. But I'll stop it there. No,
So what's unbelievable about this video? That they got uniforms?
Crisp,
that
crisp,
they got editing?
Crisp, right out of the box uniforms, and never seen a day of wear.
So what?
Like 1080p HD video.
The acting, the guy is being burned alive. He doesn't act like he's being burned alive. He's sitting there.
Show me that part.
I'm not showing it. We can show it after the show. That's the part that'll get taken down.
Hold on, no.
Can't you show it to me with the...
We can watch the video without it being shown to the other peoples.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see if this is real or not. I mean, everyone talks about this burning thing, and I listen to Howard Stern pretty regularly. He was saying he saw this video. He was pissed off that more places aren't showing it, especially news places. He's like, the news... They're not doing their goddamn job by showing people what's actually happening. He was like, if people saw this, they'd be... He takes the pro-military side. He wants the more people to be up in arms saying, look how horrible these people are. We got to go kill them. But you're saying, Conan, this is so fake. Now, what I'm seeing here is horrible. A man on fire, engulfed in flames. He's obviously seems to be suffering very badly here.
I'm talking about all the effects that went up to this point. I mean, all of the special effects that were used.
The multiple
You think this is
angles.
special effects?
There was some flame that was added to the video on top of this video. I'll show it to you in a second.
All right, and then...
Well, what I think is kind of odd is that they know that he's going to run to this face of the little cage and such.
The cage is not even planted in the ground. He can lift the whole thing up.
The face of the cage, it's not the cameraman running around to catch him. He's not zooming in on his face. He's not trying to catch up with him.
And this is unbelievable, where he was leaned forward, but yet his body completely fell backwards.
Yeah, that could
totally unbelievable.
But that could happen when the juices in the body are doing their thing. I don't have
what
any
doesn't match up with how this. I don't think they're not showing it because it's fake or anything. I think if it were really gruesome and the news stations did show it, that their ratings would go through the roof. I mean, people would watch it because it'd be so horrible if they played it on Fox News.
By the same token, there are going to be all those angry grandmothers saying, "I can't believe what you just played on."
Well,
I mean, I got kids, and you've just ruined my life.
And they'd get a lot of. I mean, God, I've read complaints that
advertisements again.
I've read complaints that people wrote to the FCC, and it's a lot of dumb crap. So I mean, how much of a difference could it make? I mean, from what I heard when Thomas Ball set himself on fire a few years ago, he planned to do it, so that's different from this guy. So maybe that's why there's such a big difference. And what I've heard is that he simply just stood there and, looked kind of different from that. And I've heard of people who are trying to get the film of that to put it on their website to get clicks. So, and I think Howard Stern's kind of missing the point of this would get everybody riled up and want the authorization of use of force passed, when really it would be a ratings boon. It would be interesting. I mean, it looks to me like an episode of Cribs with kind of shitty gruesomeness.
Yeah, this is everything.
I thought it was one of the most horrible things I've ever seen. I've never watched a person burn alive, and that was a very hard thing to watch.
I don't.
So,
but
what I want to say about this is, if you believe that it is propaganda designed to fool people, then why would the mainstream media not project this in front of everyone's eyeballs? Why would they keep it from people? Why make propaganda that you hide?
Because if they actually watched it and they were of my it came from my side of the wagon, the train, the broken ass train. They would see that they wouldn't believe this. They would see it as coming straight from MTV. It looks like MTV produced that silly thing. It looks like something that Hollywood produced for real. I don't believe it. It looks fake to me. If the people actually saw this, there would be a good handful of people who would agree with me.
So here's the lesson for ISIS: make your videos lower quality, have less editing, and people will believe you more. Is that your lesson for them?
I
have seen real beheadings, according to
where.
Well, there's the Nick Berg,
the Daniel Pearl beheading.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They behead people all the time in the Middle East.
Journalist about a decade ago that was captured by Al Qaeda
in 2002. Wrote for the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah,
and by the way,
he was beheaded, and that video they actually showed his beheading. You can hear him screaming as the machete is going into the back of his neck like 5 times before his screams stop.
The ISIS beheading videos, they don't show anything. They put a knife to the guy's neck, and then they fade the black, and the next thing you know, you have a head that's photoshopped on the back of some body.
Okay, so key bono, who benefits? What's the motive here?
Oh, the military-industrial complex benefits.
So the military-industrial complex has this propaganda wing, and they say, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make fake ISIS videos, a series of them for years.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, here's what we're doing. Yeah, and then we don't need to ever actually have people in danger. We're going to have all these people involved, but they're going to keep it all under wraps for us. It's going to be a big secret that we all keep from the whole world.
We'll burn the kids at Waco, but not Jordanian pilots.
Well, that's why in the original videos there wasn't a whole team of people. It was just one dude.
But now it's been like 10, 20 people involved.
Yeah, there was a lot of dudes there.
So how are they keeping them all secret now?
Well, one way that the mainstream media that says, I'm the anchor for this TV station and this horrible video, but we're not going to show it. I think one way that what they get out of not showing it is they look like they're being responsible, like they're being sensitive to the grandmothers.
The higher ground.
They're taking the higher ground. They're being thanked for their courage, that they'll do the dirty work of looking at this horrible thing so that you don't have to, so that I don't have to. And they could do that whether it's Daniel Pearl or Nick Berg actually getting their head cut off, or these people, which either did happen or didn't happen. And
here's another thing to think of. Look at the victims of these videos. They're not just Americans. They're attacking everyone. They had some Japanese dudes. They've had some guy they had a Jordanian pilot. They got people. They just did the Coptics from Egypt. They're attacking everybody. They're not holding. They're trying to make a war with everyone. This is perfect if you are a member. If you're a part of the industrial complex, the military industrial complex, and you want to sell more drones and more bombs, and you got to get everyone on board. And you have to create this imaginary group that can't be tracked anywhere. You don't know what cave these guys are in.
Well, I thought that we knew where they are. Aren't they in Syria?
If they do know, they're not telling us.
Are they in Iraq? Where's ISIS?
They're partly in Syria, partly in Iraq. There's a new affiliated group in Libya.
Right.
The Libyan group is the ones that attacked the Coptic Christians in Egypt. Egypt responded by bombing civilians in Libya and say, "Oh, we missed our target."
Well, look at the Jordans are bombing. They're bombing Syria. But who? I mean, they don't. I've looked at articles and it doesn't say we're bombing potential ISIS targets, and it's like, well, yeah, that doesn't tell me a whole lot. How do you?
Yeah, that sounds like some shit that the U.S. military does with the drones. Like, we think we got some insurgents.
But and where did you get this information? How do you know these guys are ISIS? But question, Darryl, how much are we spending per year? It's almost $1 trillion on.
Darryl knows.
He does know. He knows all these figures.
Nearly $1 trillion a year on foreign policy.
That's just our budget. Because what's the world?
Our budget.
Yeah, what's the worldwide budget?
Ain't my budget.
I mean, seriously, we're talking about a lot of money there, Mr. Derrick. I mean, you don't think people would dress up in costumes to start a couple wars when they think when we're talking about trillions of dollars?
Big claim, Conan.
Trillions of dollars?
You're saying that you believe, based on no evidence, that there's a group of people producing propaganda videos to start a world war.
Have there never been false flags that have taken place in this globe's history?
Previous false flags are not evidence of current false flags.
Hey, I'm just looking at what has happened, which actually happened. So I'm not at all surprised that it would happen again.
And Obama has wanted to get the military involved in Syria for like the last 2 years.
But not boots on the ground.
I'm just saying, this is a big claim. I'd like to see some evidence.
Well, I don't have
all
the evidence.
You've got is that video is very well produced.
It looks fake.
Okay. Well,
hey, I don't know what else.
Show me, go reproduce this video. If you say it's fake, go make it yourself.
Well,
show me how it's done.
I was going to bring up some videos of dudes of teenagers, working
use special effects.
Pull up the video of Superhero Kid
working with After Effects, creating flame effects out there on the beach, throwing fireballs and stuff. It looks pretty convincing.
Okay, so if this can be done digitally,
send those kids to fight ISIS.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So let's show someone actually doing it.
So, Derek, I certainly respect that first one. Is it? I can respect the position that you're taking. But here's some videos that the React channel actually showed some people this, and there were some gullible people that actually thought that it was real.
People thought this was real, Darryl?
This kid?
Children thought this was real.
8 years old, but still.
People who are children. Okay.
People who are not that intelligent.
That was kind of misleading of you to say that they're people. It seems like they're adults.
Well, they're still people.
I understand, but it's misleading to put it that way.
Or,
yeah, they're
giraffes.
children. It would be.
Children are less than people, dude.
But like that explosion looked kind of real.
Yeah, I can imagine all these
the
people thinking floor is actually lava.
So, a lot of special effects. I don't know
Nothing
how.
on
I don't
fire
know.
Yet.
Yeah, I don't know how real it looks.
Oh no, that explosion from the
in the
store looked kind of explosion-y.
That's pretty neat. And this is probably some father in. I wonder where he works.
This guy's a special effects artist.
It says a DreamWorks animator, so.
That was pretty neat.
It's not hooked up to a hose, though, buddy. You gotta hook it up to.
He used the water special effect.
What do you have? Nice. You remember how to use it?
All right. Flames. We need something with flames, Darryl. Any ideas?
You're going to recreate the ISIS video live?
He's going to try to.
No, actually, we don't have time to look this up. There are plenty of fan-made videos and stuff where people using After Effects, creating some pretty convincing videos. This is not. It's not impossible.
So, not impossible is not a good standard of evidence. But Joe Merzoff does make a good point that the fact that there's no evidence cuts both ways. We're faced with stories that mainstream media can't investigate. And he's right. Like, I sort of have to take what the mainstream media is reporting on faith because I'm not going to the Middle East to go investigate this.
Mm-hmm.
I do just I have to cut out some parts. Like, this is why I haven't followed the ISIS story. I know the mainstream media wants this to be a big deal and wants us to all pay attention to the people burning alive and stuff. But I honestly, I don't pay attention to that because I only follow the stuff that I really can know.
Mhm.
Like, I know what's going on in local Keene politics. I know what's going on that the United States military is sending more troops to Iraq. Like, I know that stuff. I don't have to question whether or not that's a conspiracy theory to be against it. I don't want more intervention in the Middle East. I don't want more wars continuing. So whether or not guys are burning alive, I think we can agree on what we do know, which is that when the U.S. military intervenes in places where it doesn't belong, there's always blowback. You know, that's unfortunate, and we don't have to be conspiracy theorists to look at that evidence.
Yeah, and a lot of the mainstream media who refuses to show this video are starting to come to that same conclusion that, yes, there is such thing as blowback, and what do we do about it? And some people are like, well, we need to make jobs for these guys. We need to help stabilize their governments and, you know, get their kids off the streets, you know, help them out, help these poor Middle Easterns out in any way that we can, and that's going to require money and boots on the ground. But yeah, blowback. That's exactly why this is taking place, and a lot of people are starting to come to that conclusion.
Why what's taking place? The propaganda videos that aren't real? That's the blowback you're talking about?
I'm saying that because more and more people are starting to get off of this wagon, this whole let's bomb the crap out of all these people wagon. Now they've got the people who are behind this. They need to up.
Who are these people? I mean,
exactly. I don't know who these people are, but I know that
you're making up a group of people. You don't even know who they are.
No one knows who they are. No one knows who they are. The
Huge
Islamic
tasks
State
in their hands, saying that they're making DreamWorks style videos. I mean, wouldn't we have to know who these people are?
They don't have a country. They don't have a place of residence. They're wherever they need to be to stir it up. But I mean, people are tired of these wars, and they're having to up it. They're having to up the situation and make it so they got to get the bombs back in there. They got the people.
So when empires are running out of money, they go to war.
That's the health
of the
state.
So I could sort of see a motive.
You know, we learned it
for an empire to drum up war.
I learned in government school that's what got us out of the Depression, World War II.
That's what they say.
That's what I was taught. So it's you know, there are lots of people who are under the exact impression that there's no better way to get us out of a recession or a depression, or you know, it's get people out there building things, filling holes.
That blows my mind.
Fixing broken windows.
That blowing things up and actually destroying buildings and destroying people's lives is a way for economic success.
Well, because you have to then build more things that go boom.
But destruction,
and that creates jobs.
Destruction doesn't produce more value.
Well, think of all the bridges we have to replace now. That's going to create jobs.
That's so
all
backwards.
The hospitals and schools.
Destroying stuff is not producing things. It's the exact opposite. For people to make the argument that it's an economic boon to destroy things seems counterintuitive.
Speaking of destroying things, Jeremiah in the chat room points out that he's never actually seen a burning person up close.
Yeah.
And when I first watched this video, it was after I heard that it was fake. It was after I'd heard deconstructions of other videos also as being fake. So I watched it thinking this is fake. And what do you know? I thought it was fake. What I do have to go on from that is that, has anybody here seen The Shawshank Redemption?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ashamed to say that I have not.
You should.
watch it. It's pretty good.
So when Fat Ass is getting beaten by the Captain Hadley, like, I've seen that movie like 800 times. I could play it in my head right now, and I'm going to soon. So see y'all later. I can't watch that scene. It is so violent. It's so horrible. It just freaks me out. A lot of violent scenes in movies I can't watch. I don't like it. Some certain sex scenes just ick me out. That video, the ISIS video, the dude burning, the close-up of him jumping around, like, doesn't weird me out at all. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying, like, ooh, I'm a badass, because clearly I'm not. But that just kind of gives me the whole, like, this isn't really all that bad feel to it. It's not like just simply watching some dude getting getting beaten to death, or, you know, like I know what it is to feel burning, I guess. You know, I have fear of the fires of hell and all that. But for some reason, that video doesn't strike me as repulsive or repugnant or anything.
The video we just watched.
The video we,
ISIS
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I've seen.
Trust me, Derek, I have seen some of those videos that I was talking about earlier. They will give you nightmares.
A close-up of Rodney Dangerfield's eyes in Natural
like
Born
Hollywood to me, and it's like, you know what? I see this crap all the time. Every time I watch a movie, someone gets burned, or something blows up, or someone gets shot in the head. That did not feel real to me.
I've been to water parks before where they've got the stunt dive team and the one guy that wears the special flame retardant suit and he lights himself and then he runs up the ladder and then does a dive off of the diving board. The way that guy was acting at the beginning where he covered his face, like that looked very much like the guy wearing the flame suit about to jump off of the diving board.
People who catch on fire, almost everyone instinctively falls to the ground and starts rolling around like a crazy person on fire.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Like a chicken with his head cut off. That guy was just standing there doing kind of the hopscotch. You know what?
Doing the hopscotch.
They're gonna keep producing these videos because it's working.
He also didn't try to avoid the fire.
These countries now Jordan is bombing Syria and Libya. Egyptians, they just had a bunch of dudes get their heads chopped off. Now Egypt is participating. They couldn't get Japan. Japan's like, yeah, we think it's all fake. They were creating memes. They were creating anime saying how fake you guys are. We're not giving you the money. They didn't get Japan on board, but they tried. But they're going to keep trying to get everyone involved. All these countries who,
So say it is real. What's the proper response? Even if people who are watching this think, oh, Derek is buying this propaganda video.
Pull out.
Totally produced.
Pull out.
Hook, line, and sinker. I would think the solution would be for people who are convinced this is real to go over there with their guns and go find these people and hunt them down and kill them.
There you go.
That's the real solution, right?
Get in your
if they're
Chevys.
Doing this, go find the people who lit that guy on fire and go kill them.
Get your hunting rifles. Get in your Chevys.
Don't
drive
get me
over
involved. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to have anything to do with this because I don't know if this is real or not, and I'm not making a claim one way or another. All I'm saying is I don't want to be involved. I don't know anything about this. If you're so convinced that it's real, why don't you go over there and kill these people and put an end to it?
All right, that was a 22-minute video. Of course, we couldn't play it all, but if you just listen to the guy's argument, he is telling you why he's doing what he's doing.
So what is his reason?
It's all about blowback. It's all about your military bases over here. You're killing our people. You're bombing our kids. So we're taking revenge. We're gonna get your military out of our countries, and this shit will stop.
And of course, American government is saying, "Oh, you want us to leave? We'll show you that we're not gonna leave."
Yeah, now we can never leave.
We're gonna go kill you even more.
But we've got to move right along.
Oh.
And I can't find my.
Move on down. Move on down. Move on down the road. Oh.
There it is. Hey, we got some donations this week. Jeremiah Rakes, who of course is in the chat room, going crazy on that mug. Sent in $40. He sent in $80 this week.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean that's. So I think the record holder was Nick. He sent not Nicholas Kirkpatrick, but the other Nick. Sent in $50, so he was the record holder for a little while there. But Jeremiah has taken the reins and says he's gonna take it to the next level. And of course, I bought some Weinsteifener's beer with that money, with that
Weinsteifener.
Terrific donation. Darryl took a couple of sips off of his. I guess you don't like it.
Yeah, it's not as good as what Beer Advocate told me that it was going to be.
Yeah, I like the
other one.
one.
Been around for 1,000 years.
Yeah, I like the other one I had a little better.
Yeah.
It must be doing something right.
I'm getting a buzz. I usually, this is a very noticeable buzz, actually. I think I'm starting to slur a little bit. Yeah? No?
I have not noticed.
And just now, as in probably about 10 minutes ago, 6:49, just got another donation for $22. Woohoo! That was sent by Totally Not a Coke Brother at don'tsupportmyagenda.winkwink. Definitely, guys, appreciate the donations. They really make.
You now have to give Cheshire TV like $13, I think.
Is that for real?
Oh, there's something in the policy that if you ever make over $100 on your show, that Cheshire TV is entitled to 10%.
I'll look into that. Definitely.
Now he can't claim plausible deniability now that you've informed him of that on the show.
Here's the thing. There have been discussions.
I have a buzz. I don't know what you guys are talking.
He forgets what you just said.
There have been discussions during the board meeting about exactly what that means. Is it enforced? If it's not enforced, why is it in the policy book? And, does that mean $100 over the course of eternity? Like, if somebody does a show for 10 years and they've got a sponsor that gives them $10 a year, at their 10th year, they now have to give Cheshire TV $10?
I don't know. It sounds like a bunch of nerd stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't hear any of it. Jeremiah, thanks so much. We're drinking some beer. I can't even pronounce the damn name. It's pretty tasty. Darryl, not a fan. Jeremiah actually brought up another good question about if and when he moves here to Keene, what type of activism he should involve himself in.
Everyone should move to Manchester.
He was talking
That's
about.
what I'm going to say.
He brought up vehicle registration and what's being done with inspections and registration and all that.
Register in Montana or Wisconsin.
Or just not get one
register
and see how long that works before they take your license away from you.
If you're not a well-known person, you might get away with it longer than Darryl did. Took me about 1.5 years before they told me if we ever see you on the road again, we will steal your car.
Yeah, I think you were making a big deal about it too.
Don't move to Keene. How many of us are there?
Well,
can we count them on one hand?
Yeah, exactly.
How many people live in Keene as activists? How many activists stay in Keene?
And that's the point that I wanted to go to.
And then they move somewhere else.
Yeah,
they either leave the state or they go to Manchester.
Most people that come to Keene try to do a wind sprint to liberty. And Derrick, you found out very quickly that you can't wind sprint to liberty. It's a super marathon.
Oh, good fucking God.
Which brings me to my answer. If you come to Keene, don't do any activism. Get yourself a job. Get yourself a good place of residence.
Domicile.
Just be a human being.
Become friends with the community.
Yeah.
And if you have time after all that's done, and you could write a letter to the editor or write something on a blog or get your opinion out there, then go ahead. But do not come here with the idea that all you're going to do is sleep on someone's couch and do activism all day long.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. Take me, for example. I'm only doing what I can do. I'll write a letter every now and then, or I'll run for office, or, but I don't have, it's not my job at the end of the day to be an activist. That's just something I have spare time.
Right.
Some people like Darryl or Ian, they can make it work because they're actually making money from what they do. Derrick has made some chinkles on the side.
No, I don't make any money doing my
some
activism.
chinkles. But you have a real job, so I mean,
I have to work a job in order to live.
I would not have to work.
Yeah, I would not be able to do. And people think that activism is supposed to make them money, or they're not going to do activism unless they get paid. And I'm like, are you serious?
That's actually an argument that's going on right now within our group.
Yeah,
someone believes that because they made sacrifices in the past, they should have a couch or a room set up for them for life.
No, that's part of the entitlement attitude. I reject that entirely. I mean, you need to. Your advice is perfect, Conan. Move here and live a life and be who you are, and that will change things in the long term. Moving here and being like, I think the suggestion was abolish registration. Forget about it. You're never going to accomplish that.
Well, that might happen.
It might happen. But you know what you can accomplish is a goal of moving here and having a life. That's what you can accomplish for certain. Anything else is gravy.
If you want to make legislative change, then try to go up to Concord, a couple times a session and talk to some committees. You're probably not actually going to wind up influencing anybody on the legislature the first time you go. But if you go enough, then they will start to see you as somebody that knows what the hell you're talking about and they will ask you questions about, okay, so how can we wind up changing this to do whatever it is that needs to be done? Because there's obviously a problem.
And that's something you can do in your spare time. You don't have to take a day off of work.
Right.
To do that. I wasn't able to do any of that, but I mean, or you can sign up with the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance.
Yeah, review bills.
Who actually they have a whole site that's set up to review bills, and you could give it the thumbs up, the thumbs down. You can rate it, and of course the people who take advantage of this site use this as a guide when they go to vote.
I would also say move to be around cool people. Like, you're probably not living around a bunch of anarchists. I only live and deal with anarchists all day, every day, and that is really cool.
We just left a great social Sunday. There was 20 plus people there.
Cool.
We were
all new movers that actually moved in the fall towards the Henniker area, but one of the two works in Keene, so they decided, we'll probably wind up coming to Keene more often. Wanted to come check out social.
Yeah, it's great being around people, like-minded people. It really, it's just so comfortable. It's so comforting to know that you're not the whole world isn't against you.
That's true.
Move here. Don't be a bridge burner. Don't be a well poisoner.
And Jeremiah says that he plans to move in about 4 years, probably. Is going to start looking for a job about a year out, has a family. One piece of advice that I would give is make sure you have enough funds on you to support yourself for several months once you get here.
The man is a big donator. He obviously has money.
Yeah, right. He's got a family. It's not like he's thinking 1 month down the road.
Right. But I'm just saying, there are some people that will show up and be like, I've got enough money to last me a week. I'll be able to find a job in a house in that amount of time, right? No,
this place does attract
maybe
a lot
not.
of those types.
Yeah. Guys, you ready to call it a night?
Let's.
Guys, you've been watching Black Sheep Rising. You can get all the video, archives, audio, links, the whole shebang-a-bang. It's at blacksheeprising.org. You can also go and visit the Facebook page, facebook.com/blacksheeprising.org.
You forgot the .com. Facebook.com.
They know the .com. They know the .com is there. If you would like to leave a voicemail, Jimmy from Arizona left the voicemail. I totally forgot.
Well, let's cover that. Let's do a brief after show.
We can do an after show real quick. We'll just cover that voicemail and we'll get on. If you'd like to leave a voicemail, that number is 267-521-2771. Leave anything you like. If you'd like to get in contact with me, you can leave that email at show@blacksheeprising.org. There are 2 donation spots on the webpage. I can't tell you what to do with those donations. Links. One is PayPal, one is Bitcoin, or Coinbase. Can't tell you what to do with those things because I'm on Cheshire TV right now, but I'm going to let you know they're there. Wink, wink. Hint, hint. Wink, wink. Darryl W. Perry, where can the people find you?
FPP.cc and FPPradio.com.
Outstanding. Shaunna?
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge on my own at blacksheeprising.org.
Derrick, you've compiled all your guys.
DerrickJ.me, but the best place right now to go is flamingfreedom.com because we got some fun gay sex talk there.
Wow. Yeah, I admit it was eyebrow raising. I had fun listening to it. We're gonna close on a little song, and since Jeremiah is the top contributor this week, we're gonna play something he probably likes. I hope that you like this. He wants Deftones. So we're going to play Deftones. There's only one problem. I can only play remixes and covers and the whole nine because I don't want YouTube flagging the video, which they do. Right. So here is a cover of Change. It's by Emma's Imagination. She has nice arms. And I think the song's
They're
pretty
nice.
That's a nice elbow.
I wish it had scrolled, panned down just a little bit and get some more look at her. But hey, it leaves a lot to the imagination, and that's a good thing, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, hey, guys in the chat, a very lively bunch this evening. Thank you so much. Guys at home and everyone listening, thank you so much for enjoying. I know that you enjoyed it. Ha! But we will see you again next week at the same time. hold off for just a little bit. We're having an after show after the song. Guys, I love you. I'll see you next week, next month. Got that wrong. Good night.
I watched you change into a fly. I looked away. You were on I took you home, put you under glass. I pulled off your waist. That made me laugh. That was a change in you. It's like you never had ways. Now you feel so alive. That was a I looked at the cross and I looked away. I gave you the gun and you blew me away. And I watched the change in you. It's like you never had ways. Now you feel so alive. I watched the
Black Sheep Rising After Show.
Shaunna, you want to come listen to this voice? Shaunna! Shaunna! So we're back. It's an after show. Totally forgot to play Jimmy from Arizona's voicemail. Haven't heard from him in some months, good months.
Is Jimmy anyone related to James from Arizona? Okay.
No,
Well, that's the best part. So yeah, regular call-ins to Free Talk Live. James from Arizona and also Jimmy from Arizona. Two different guys.
Right.
Well, he usually leaves some interesting voicemails.
Jimmy is a comedian.
Oh, cool.
Literally a comedian.
That's great. That's way better than James in Arizona.
So let's go ahead
Just
and
a douchebag.
That's
Hey, how
offensive to
y'all
actual
doing?
douchebags.
It's Jimmy. Haven't talked to y'all for a while, so I thought I'd give you a call. Kind of had a bad day. I got kicked out of a father-daughter dance. Apparently, you're not supposed to get drunk at a grade school function. And, yeah, you know, just made for a bad time. And I'm sorry I haven't called lately. I've been a little busy. I just got a job as a door-to-door erotic toilet salesman. So I've been pretty busy with that. But I want to say y'all been putting on a good show. And I wish y'all did it more often. And y'all have a great day. Bye.
a door-to-door erotic toilet salesman. What is an erotic toilet? Maybe that's something.
Maybe it's one of those partner toilets where the things sit opposite.
Maybe it's where actual devices actually come up out of the.
That would be
mode.
nice.
It's
Have you
more than
used
a bidet.
Yeah, have you used a bidet?
I think I've seen them. I've
They're
definitely seen them on
nice.
the movies and stuff.
I think it's especially nice for women and gay men because we're used to a little bit of entertainment down there. So I don't know.
You need a hose a lot of the time.
So maybe that's what it. Hold on,
I don't need it.
Let me
You need
Google
to
this.
hose stuff down there a lot of the time.
At all of his houses, he has bidets in all of the toilets, and they have little selectors on them. They've gotten really advanced now.
Seriously?
Yeah, they're heated seats, and you can change the temperature.
Heated toilet seats?
Heated toilet seats. You can change the temperature. You can change the type of action that you want from the bidet. It could be
Kneading.
massage style. It can be just regular a couple of squirts.
Hold on, this isn't the fucking
It's great.
fountain. The fountain outside of what the hell's that hotel in?
I don't know.
Las Vegas.
Holy crap!
That's an erotic toilet.
I guess.
All right, I'm digging that guy's mustache.
So you guys all think erotic toilet is a real thing?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I thought it was just some made up thing.
I think a bidet could be used as an erotic sit down.
Yeah.
What's that erotic massage toilet knife something?
Yeah,
That
I
just
clicked on it
sounds
already.
painful.
It's someone's Facebook profile or page or group or
Oh,
something.
it's a page for.
Yeah, I don't like that link.
Something.
I don't like that link. Well, that's too bad. It's your business.
What's that
Business.
literotica? That top thing all the way. at the top?
Literotica, that's not going to be right.
So it's too bad that your door-to-door sales didn't work. I don't know why there'd be people out there who wouldn't want to participate in such a thing.
No, he said it's good.
Is it? All right.
Yeah,
well then,
he said, and I'm a door-to-door erotic toilet salesman, so I've been pretty busy. I can imagine so.
Oh crap!
The great thing about a product like that is if you're not doing well in the sales, at least you can use them.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for the call in, everyone else. The number again is 267-521-2771.
Should find out what that spells. So it's
Everyone
easier to
else's
say.
toilets suck. It's BSR1.
Yeah, BSR1.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we haven't heard from Hawking in a while.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking.
He's still
you
alive,
retarded
right?
Fuck.
Stephen
Why
Hawking.
haven't you called in to tell us about global warming causing more snow, you fucking asshole?
He's still alive, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not.
Nobody's pushed him down a flight of stairs yet.
Right. Well.
Well, after all that,
Did we cover everything?
Yeah.
I think
I can't
so.
see it.
I've got a little bit of beef that I can throw in here on the topic of phone calls. This guy called into Flaming Freedom during, I think it was the first or second episode, as a prank caller as my ex-boyfriend, and he said his
God.
name was 8 inches or 8.5 or something, and
he didn't plan it out beforehand.
No, he didn't plan it. It was just a crank. I didn't know that this was happening, and this person who I do know in real life, we had a tiff online over Facebook. There's this gay anarchist Facebook group that he found total possession over after this happened. He removed me as an admin. He removed other people as an admin. He's the only admin of the gay anarchist group. And I'm like, I thought anarchist was supposed to be like, we're all in control here. So I made a competing group.
You made your own, yeah.
His is called Homotarians. Don't join that one. Forget about it. It's lame. You can join mine, which is called
Homertarians.
Gaynarchists. And we welcome everyone.
Wait. I thought
Everyone's an admin at Gaynarchists. So when you join, you automatically get admin status.
I thought you were plug-in Homitarians.
No, I used to.
So now
I was plug-in Homitarians because I thought I was an admin. This guy bounced me.
Until Derrick wound up getting plugged without realizing it.
Oh, ching. Where's my punchline? It's way too far away.
That's
There we go. So
That's why I skip
Gaynarchists
Social Sunday.
is the gay anarchist group to join, and we're all inclusive. So come
all
on,
inclusive.
guys.
All right, so that's what I wanted to ask
Yeah,
you. Is
you can
everyone?
join. You can join.
All right, cool.
It's dirty though. You might want to leave after a short little while.
But for a few minutes, I was admin of something.
I'll get Shaunna to check it out for me.
I'll be an admin. Yeah.
Well, hey, Darryl, God, you guys, 2 Ds on the panel, confusing. Derrick, thanks so much for being on. Lots of great input, even though I know you don't like my opinion on the ISIS
We
videos.
disagree, but it's
yeah, I mean,
amicable.
but we agree on most things. So that's just that's just one thing. We know what's really going on over there. We know whether that's a real video or not. Blowback, wars that we shouldn't be involved in. Just get out of there. Just pull out.
Yeah.
Pull out the plug.
Right.
But
pull out the
then,
plug.
and then you get to use the bidet to clean up afterwards.
But yeah, we agree on most things. You know. But thanks so much for being on, Shaunna. I know
The
that you.
Bellagio is the hotel that I'm thinking.
Shaunna and I debated whether she should even be on this one tonight because there's going to be a lot of talkers. You know, all 3 of us are like, you know, and I know that when I put her in that chair, she is less likely to talk, but I don't think it really matters. Having a bunch of talkers talking over you, yeah.
I can also barely hear anybody.
Oh, yeah,
What?
Shaunna's sick, so
I can't hear
like, what?
myself. I'm just slurring a lot. It's really pissing me off.
Yeah. Speaking in other languages.
Being pissed off is better than
I'm
being
sorry,
pissed on.
I don't speak third world.
Unless you're into that sort
All
of
right.
thing.
Guys in the chat, thanks for participating. I hope to see you next month. Hey, when is the next show?
Would be March 29th.
March the 29th. I will see you guys then.
Although we should do it March 22nd because WrestleMania.
Oh, really? WrestleMania's on the 29th?
I believe so.
Okay. Well, once we get closer to that date, we will talk. We'll see what's going on. So we'll have a March 10th will be election day. We'll have some juicy stuff coming from that. But all right, guys. See you next month. Good night.
Faux shizzle.
It's like I'm sucking a cock.
What's this about the microphone being like sucking a dick?
You're
My head.
supposed to keep it on your chin
Okay. Do we have some coffee and some
like
stuff
if
coming?
it was a penis.
I feel like we're the kids in that 70s show with the table and we would like spin the camera.
Conan likes his coffee like he likes his women. Black and bitter.
Black and bitter. Black and strong. Black and strong.
Strong, black, and bitter.
The fact that your dick is covered in cement is the issue.
Believe that!